Jim, how do you think today's NEC meeting went?
Very constructive meeting. We met in an attractive village on the Norfolk-Cambridge border, and all members were in attendance, and we discussed reforming policy. We made a number of new appointments, but largely it was about revising policy with a light to the economic circumstances that we find ourselves in. Of course, there is a cost of living crisis, and for these reasons we have to look very closely at our economic policies, particularly with regard to things that hit people in the pocket, like utilities and the rest of them. But it was a constructive meeting. We spent the whole afternoon debating various issues. Everybody had a chance to speak, as usual, on the NEC, and I think we've achieved something.
On the 29th of October, there will be an election training day. What is your thoughts on the election training day?
It's absolutely essential that we address the question of how to get elected and what to do when you are elected. It's something which other parties perhaps neglect falsely, is the assumption that because they've got existing councillors, that they don't need to prepare new councillors in the same way, because existing councillors will show people what to do. We have relatively few councillors, but we do have a lot of experienced councillors who can pass their knowledge and experience on to a younger generation. That's why it's essential to have a training day, so that that wisdom is not dissipated, not lost, both about how to get elected and what to do when you are elected, as I say, because it's very easy to assume that being a councillor is something which is largely about speechifying. It isn't. It's about hard work in committees and the rest of it, and this is the sort of thing we have to talk about because it's not immediately obvious. The other thing is, of course, that like a lot of novice councillors, I was ambushed several times by mainstream politicians who knew how to set traps for us, and what we have to do is to show would-be councillors the sort of traps which will be set for them, both by the media and by their political opponents.
So Jim, in the middle of November we will be having the British Democrats AGM. Could we have your thoughts on the AGM?
It's an essential part of our calendar. It's our opportunity to meet the membership. It's our opportunity to hear what they have to say about particular topics, because obviously on the NEC we tend to be, as it were, professional politicians. We tend to have an interest level in certain things which may not correspond with that of the membership. They may want to raise important issues which we've overlooked, particularly on a local basis. And for all those reasons, it's essential we bond with them, so there is not only an opportunity for them to raise suggestions and pass them to the NEC for consideration, but there will be a social event afterwards, so that again we can socialise, bond, get to know each other as friends and comrades, as well as just fellow party members. You can't build an organisation just by passing rules and regulations and having endless committee meetings. It's got to have a sort of solid human heart, and the whole point of the AGM is to provide an opportunity for people to meet and mingle, and for officers to show that they are approachable and that they are willing to listen to what members have to say to them.
Yes. Okay, that's basically it for today, Jim, with questions, and I will look forward to seeing yourself and whoever comes along to the election training day and to the AGM. So from myself and from Jim, thank you.